Hey, good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel on Prodbug. Okay, so let's continue the series. So I'm going to talk about how to create a JSON file from the CSV. Okay, so why it is required? See, sometimes I've seen in a lot of project that there is a manual team is sitting along with you, and they are writing the data, they are giving the data in CSV file. Okay, I will show you one of the example. Okay, let's say this is the data, okay, in a CSV file, and you need to create a JSON out of it, and then you have to call the post call, and you have to send that JSON as a payload in that call. Okay, so this is the kind of requirement we are talking about today, and this is a very practical example because I have seen in a lot of banking industry that a lot of SMEs people are there, manual guys are there, and they are hardcore people. They know in and out of the application, right? And they give you all the requirement in Excel, CSV, whatever. So you can replace this with a Excel, but CSV is far better than the Excel in terms of handling and reading the data. So I will always prefer CSV over the Excel. Okay, so let me explain you about this CSV. So this is the name. Okay, so this is the main node. Okay, so name, surname. So these are the client name, or you can say the employee name. Let's say. Okay, these are the employees name. Okay, so the counting will come here 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, any 150 or whatever the data will come here. Okay, and the this is the name, surname, age. Okay, and see what I have done here. So this is the address node. Okay, so this is in a nested JSON. Okay, this is a nested JSON, and the main node is address, and under that house number, block, and area is given. Okay, so I have separated by hash so that we can, when I will read this particular node, I will come to know that okay, this is inside the address node. Okay, so what next? So okay, so now look at this particular thing. So now I have one more nested JSON. Okay, let me show you before explaining you all these things. I think that will be more clear to you. Where is the JSON? Let me run this particular class. Our JSON will be generated, and then I will show you. So JSON file employee using csv.json has been created. Let me refresh this particular code. What I'm doing, refresh is here. Okay, so employee using csv.json. This has been generated. Okay, open this. Control A, control copy, and let me go here. Paste and view. See what I have created. There are two data. Okay, the main node is employee. Under that there are two nodes 0 and 1. Inside that name Sheetal, surname saying age 34. Under that there is a nested JSON address. Under that nested JSON there is one more JSON. See, so this is a nested and proper nested JSON example, and then there is a node office. Under that office again there is office details. Okay, let's say that this employee, this is the history, and employees has worked in EPAM, ZBA, all these companies, so I am giving just some nodes. Okay, so this is a very complex JSON which I have created using a CSV. Okay, so I will tell you how, what's the strategy you can use. There can be even better strategy, but this is according to me, this is one of the good strategy which I have seen in past project, and I have implemented myself those things. Okay, so let me close. So this is the JSON I am talking about. Now try to understand. See, under the address there is a house number, right? Under the address there is a house number. This is that node, and similarly these nodes are there. And look at this address, address geo lat. So what I want to say, under the address there is a address geo node, and under that there is a latitude. This is what I want to mention here. Okay, so these are the proper nested JSON kind of thing. So now let's go to the code. Okay, so with this JSON you can generate the POJOs, you know that, right? And right now you don't have the Pojo. Okay, so forgot about that thing. You don't have Pojo. So let's create Pojo ourselves because we don't have the JSON as of now, right? Because we are generating first time, so we don't know how the JSON will look like. Or if you can manually create the JSON, you can create the Pojos with these sites. Okay, there are in my previous chapters I told you about that site particular, right? Okay, let's start with the base node. Okay, this is address geo. Address geo uh, is having only two things, right? Address geo class has only latitude and longitude, and both are strings. So I have created two strings, latitude, longitude, under address geo, right? And getter setters. Okay, simple class. You can see address geo with two string, and these are the getter setter. That's it, simple, right? Okay, above the address geo, what is their address? Let's go to the address class now. This is our address class. Open this. Address class has house number, block, area, state, four strings, right? These are the four strings, house number, block, area, and state. These are the four strings. And this is the class address geo. So I have given the reference of address geo inside the address. Got it? Hope this is clear. So this is complete. Till now, this node is we have mapped to the Pojo. Now go to the office. So office A and office. Okay. Let me open these classes. Office A. So this is office A. There are three strings, name, client, and team size. So inside the office, there are name, client, team size. Inside office B, name, client, team size. Okay, these are the inner node. I have created office A and office B. Similarly, office B is there. Same code. Okay, these three strings and getter setters. Okay, okay, fine. Now go to the office, base class of office. So under the office, there are no strings, only two references, office A and office B, and getter setters of office A and B. Under the office, there are two nodes, office A and B. Okay, and now go to the employees. Now go to the employees. This is the main class where there's a name, surname, age. These three are the string variable. You can see name, surname, age, right? And there is one node of address and one is for the office and address. This is the representation of this particular node. So according to your JSON, slowly, starting from the end point, you can start creating the classes yourself without using any tool. You can create very easily. Once this is done, half of the effort has been done from your side. Okay, so these are done from your side. Okay, now come to the, okay, this is a placeholder. This is an important thing. Now we have mapped till employees, right? Till this zero node, right? This, only this much. What about this? This is again an employee. Then again one employee will come here and again fourth employee will come here, right? So likewise there will be 50 and 100 employees, right? So how to hold them? So we need a final class, one more class, placeholder. We call it as a placeholder which will contain the complete JSON. So it will be simple a list of employees. Understand? It's a list of employees. So list element 1, element 0th, first element, second element, third element, right? So it's a list. Complete list will be represented by this JSON. So this JSON, this node, this level node is, or you can say this is a array. See, array sign is there, right? So at this level, it's a list of employee, and every employee is a JSON. Got it? So that's why I have created this class service placeholder, or you can call this as list of employees or employees with S, the class name. But to have a better clarity, I name it as service placeholder Pojo. So under that, it is having a list of employees. Okay, so our complete Pojo has been done. From these are the Pojo classes, which are actually represented. So this is the base class. This contains a list of employee, and employee contains address and office contains office AB, address contains address geo, right? So this is the structure. Now let's come to the coding part. If this point, till this point, if you are with me, then let's move further. Otherwise, again, go and watch from the start. I know this is a bit complex and I don't know if I'm able to explain properly or not, but I'm trying my best so that it will be clear to you. If such things comes to you, you can try this one. Okay. Okay, so this class reads data from CSV and create a single JSON with all employees data in it. Okay, this is what we are discussing, and CSV to hash map to Pojo and to JSON via JSON library. Okay, in this class I am using a JSON library. You can use JSON, Jackson, Snake, XML, whatever. There are a number of libraries dealing with JSONs. Okay, this is we have already discussed why we are creating JSON so that we can post in some post call or whatever. Okay. Okay, let's start with the main method. Where is main? Here's main. Okay, read input CSV. I have given the path of the CSV, input CSV. I'm talking about this particular file. This is a CSV file path, and I am passing it to read complete CSV file, this method. Okay, so and what it will in return give me a big linked hash map. Why I'm saying big? Because just to show you that it's a map of map. Why I've used linked hash map? Because you know that linked hash map will maintain the sequence. So it will maintain this first employee will come always first, second employee will come always second. Okay, so that's why I have used linked hash map, and it's a map of map. So the big hash map key is here, and the value is itself is a hash map. If you're not comfortable, I will recommend you to go and practice map of map examples. Okay. Okay, so we'll get some map. Okay, and then we are converting and we are passing this big hash map to this particular method, and we are getting a Java object. And once we have the, I will explain each and every method, don't worry. And once we have the Java object, you can simply use the file return and these methods which we have discussed in the previous chapters, and you can simply write a JSON file. Simple. So this code is very simple. We have already seen if you have a Java object ultimately, and you can easily write a JSON. Okay, but the main problem is how to deal with how to read a CSV file and how to convert that into a Java object. This is our main two problems. Okay, problem one, problem two. Let's go to the problem one now. Read a complete CSV file. We are giving a path and we need to make big hash map with some key and with some values. Okay, let's see what is this. Now, let's go to here. This method will read complete test data present in CSV file and create a big hash map. Fine, we know that. And the structure will be key will be one. What is one? One is the test case number. This is our TC test case or ID or serial number, whatever. This is the key. And what is the value? Name and Sheetal. Okay, so inner hash map. I told you there is a one more hash map inside this. So that key is name and value is name of employee. Again, this will be the key. This is the value. So key value, key value. Okay, and in the second entry will be similar to this. Let me show you. Second entry here, the key will be 2, serial number 2, and again, and it's a map, right? The inner one is again a map, so map is again key value pair. So here, how the key will next key will be surname, right? So here surname will come, surname, and value will be whatever ABC. Now comma. Uh, okay, let me write properly. Saying okay. Now what will be the key? Key will be the age. Value is some value. Then again, what will the key? So similarly, it will keep going on. Okay. And in second case, the key will be 2 and the name will be John. In this case, John. And similarly, same with John also. Okay, so this is kind of hash map we are trying to create. Okay, let's go here. I'm reading a file here, whatever we are sending as a CSV. This is CSV reader. This is open CSV. You can see in the imports. I will show you the import open CSV somewhere. CSV reader, this one, open CSV. I have used this particular Maven dependency, CSV reader. You can just see the path com.opencsv CSV reader. Okay, so with this class, we can easily read this particular file. So CSV reader, we got the CSV reader. From the CSV reader, this is a method read all. It will give me a list of strings. Okay, array of string. Okay, so all the CSV data is here. Okay, in list form. Okay, so I'm closing it here. And what next? Now I'm creating a big hash map. This is important. This is going to be very important. Okay, this is a big hash map, and all CSV data. This is containing all the CSV data. Get zero. Get zero will give me the first row. Okay, so so this is the header. See what I'm coming here. First row, second row, third row. This is the format. 0, 1, 2. Okay, we are not reading this. We are reading this complete row as an array, string array. So string array, this is TC name. These are the array, string of array. Okay, it is something like uh, the first will be like TC, comma, then name, like this. Okay, this is the array we are getting here. Okay, so this is the header. Okay, so I have saved as a list of header list. You got it? We are reading the header as a array, and we are converting that array into list. So list of string, and this will be the header list. Okay, this is our header now. Now, now I want to use for loop because I don't know how many employees will be there. Now I want to read them together because these are the data. That is the header. This is the data. Okay. All CSV data dot size. I am starting from int 1 not 0 because 0 is for header. I don't want to start from header. I want to start from first data. So I am starting my for loop from I is equal to 1. All CSV data dot size. It will keep looping till the last employee. What I'm doing with the first employee, I am reading dot get I. So first row I am reading here. I am reading this complete row. I'm converting into a list of string. So this is a body row. Body, I want to say this is body. This is header. This is body. Okay. So body row. Now what I am initializing a small hash map here. Okay, small length hash map. This hash map will contains key value, key value, key value, and for second one key value, key value, key value. You got it? So I'm creating a small hash map. Okay, I'm going with the header list first, and I'm creating a small hash map with headers. Okay, so first headers will be added in this small hash map. And what I'm doing in the big hash map, I'm adding the small hash map, and I'm adding the key number body row dot get 0. So what will be the body row dot get 0? This is the body row, and get 0 will be 1. So I'm putting here 1 and small hash map. Okay, hope you are able to understand. I know this is complex, but I will give you the code. You just run, do the debugging. I'm just trying my best to explain you this thing, but I know even I took a lot of time to understand this and to make this happen. It took me a lot of hours. It's not easy, but once you are able to do, it will be very easy to do the repetition, right? Okay, so this way we are creating a big hash map, and I'm returning here. Okay, so big hash map will be created. So big hash map will have your this as a TC as the key and value, and in the second value will be the key will be the 1, then key will be the 2, and the value small hash will have the name this key value, and in the second case key value, all this thing will be here. Okay, now the second method we are calling, you remember we are passing this big hash map in this particular method, convert linked hash map to Pojo classes. Second important step. Now we have the big hash map here. You can see this is the big map we have. Now, now I want to initialize all the classes. This is going to be important. See, initially I have created object of the service placeholder class. Okay, this is a list of employee. I have created a list of employee here and a list. Now run as per the row count excluding header. Okay, so I am excluding the headers. Okay, because I don't want headers to be printed in JSON. Okay, I don't want. Yeah, you know, our JSON don't have any headers. Okay, so these are the key. We will handle this thing. So big hash map dot values, it will give me the inner hash map. So this is the inner hash map. Okay, from that inner hash map, I have initialized all the classes. From the inner hash map, I am fetching using the for loop, using the entry for loop. entry dot get key, key and value I have, all classes has been initialized. I have already initialized all the classes. So based on the key, so key can be a name, surname, age, address, like this, see, these are the key. Yeah, these are the key. So I have put a switch class here based on the key. If it is name, so what I have set, employees dot set name and value, and break the switch loop and come again outside. Again, the next entry will be surname definitely. So switch case will go to the surname, and employee dot surname will method will be called setter. All the setters will be called here, and I have put a value. So similarly, if you want to read, and when you want to read, let's say this one 500, right? So what is this, address geo long. So go to the address geo and long, right? So whenever this will come, this particular method will be called. So what I mean to say, all the setters of all these classes will be initialized once this loop will finished. Once that is done, now what I have done, address geo, look, address geo has been initialized with latitude and longitude. Okay, but I need to call the method of set address geo. This, see, this particular I'm talking about address class. Okay, so initially we have initialized these setters, we called set latitude and set longitude. So address geo has been initialized. Okay, but we need to initialize address class also, right? So that's why after all this has been set, I called address. So address, then I called office setters. Okay. Once address and office has been set, now I will call employee class setter method to set the complete address. Now this address have complete information about latitude, longitude, and this office have information about both the office A and B. Once the employees has been initialized, now this employee object have complete detail of one node, one complete employee. So I am adding into a list of employee. This is what I want. Okay, list. And once I have list, I will call the set employees with the list service. This is a service. See, service placeholder projo. Okay, so I'm calling on this object, I'm calling this method set employee. Okay, and set employee need a list of employees. Okay, it's getting too much, right? Too hectic, but just go through the code again and again, again and again, go through the video again and again, and just I hope you will be able to understand. So now I will return this particular object, and we have this object now, and after that what we need to do, just simply print it. Okay, and I have shown you, so let me delete that JSON and run this particular class once again. Okay, and let's change the value. Let's add some here. um, any good name, let's say Brian. Okay, Brian Adam. Okay, I have added Brian Adam. uh, let's say John Cena. Okay, one of the good wrestler. Okay, so I have updated the value. Now let me run this class again just to show you the code is working absolutely fine, and whatever the value you will add, it will make the node accordingly. Okay, employees.json, refresh it, and control A, control copy. Let's paste here and view in this form. See, Brian Adam, John Cena, right? So accordingly, JSON will be created, right? Let me add a new employee. I don't know. I have not tried. It should work. ABC XYZ 20 100. Let's see. Let me run once again. Where is the main class? Here is the main class. Run Java application. Looks like it has been generated successfully. Let me refresh and open this, and abracadabra, gilly gilly, chew. Yeah, third employee, ABC and XYZ, right? Age is 20, address is 100, right? So this has been printed. So you can see that, right? So once the effort has been done, your life will be much easier, and any number of employees can be added in this Excel. Fine. I hope, friends, you like this. This is a bit difficult. I don't know if I am able to explain in a simple words or not, but try to watch video again and again. I will give you the code. Go through the code slowly and just see. And similar, just understand the concept. Okay, and no need to go through the code also. Just try to understand the concept, and you can apply the same concept in your problem statements. Fine, friends. I hope you like my series, and I will keep coming with some different things, articles, and I always try to give some practical solution. Okay, so whenever I face something practically in my project, so whenever I am able to solve those things, so I make videos on that kind of topics. Okay, so alls are related to my past experience. If you are fresher or if you are very new to API, I will recommend you to go through this series. I have a proper series for rest assured with starting from scratch. Okay, and at the end there are two frameworks, API frameworks, proper frameworks, which I have posted here, and I have given the get link also. So you can download the framework in these two chapters. The frameworks are given, and rest till chapter 15 there are basic to advanced of rest assured has been mentioned. Okay, and if you are going a further step ahead for SDET profile kind of thing, which is nowadays asked in the companies. So this is that. This series is for that. So I have explained all the advanced topic like Lombok, Graph Walker, one of the best tool for model-based testing, mutation testing, very interesting. And this is for developer. And so developer should know. Okay, and as a QA, you should recommend your team that try to implement the mutation. It's a 5 minute job, but it's awesome. Okay, Sonar Cube as a QA, as a SDET, you should know Sonar Cube. This is the framework explained for the page object model in the Selenium. Jenkins related things. Okay, this is one of the again a challenging task which I have solved. Okay, so you can go through that. There are two different projects, A and B, and we need to use the step and feature file of a different project. There are two complete different Git repository. Okay, and I am calling the feature and step file from the second project. Okay, so it's a very challenging project which I recently done. So I have shared my experience in this particular video. This is how to run the Cucumber parallel, and this is the dependency injection explained to you guys. Hope guys I you like my videos and my concepts and whatever the practical problem statement which I used to present. So thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe, press the bell icon if you like, so you will keep getting my latest innovations or whatever the problem statements I face. Thanks for watching my videos once again. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.